Everyone thinks Alix Earle's skin is perfect because of money, because of celebrity dermatologists, because of luxury skincare brands. But here's the truth most people are not ready to hear. If you used her exact products, followed her exact routine, and even sat in the same treatment chair, your skin would still not look like hers. Because the real reason behind her glow is something she never shows on camera. And today, for the first time, I'm going to explain what that secret really is. Not as gossip, not as hype, but as a dermatologist who understands what's happening beneath the surface of the skin. When Alix first went viral, everyone asked me, is her skin real? Is it genetics? Is it filters? Here's the honest answer. Her skin is real. But it wasn't always calm. She had skin that rebelled the moment she tried to control it, just like yours. Inflammation cycles, dehydration phases, texture that showed through makeup. And then something changed. She stopped fighting her skin. But that shift didn't happen on a perfect skin day. It happened on a morning when her foundation separated, her texture showed, and for the first time, instead of covering it with another product, she paused. The bathroom was quiet except for the low hum of the light above her mirror. No panic layering, no aggressive fixing, just awareness. That's the moment control quietly turned into peace. Most people attack their face with acids, scrubs, and viral treatments because they want fast results. Alix walked away from that mindset. She learned something most people learn too late. Something we see in real clinics every day, not on Instagram. The skin barrier is the real foundation of beauty. Once the barrier breaks, moisture escapes. Oil overproduces, pigment clings harder, acne inflames deeper. Here's the truth most people don't understand. Glow is not about shine. Glow is about stability. Calm skin reflects light evenly. Stressed skin scatters it. From that point forward, her focus shifted, not to trends, not to hype, but to protection first. Hydration became the non-negotiable. Product chaos disappeared. And here's what surprises most people. Her glow didn't come from what she added. It came from what she removed. Fragrance, over-exfoliation, constant product switching, because skin doesn't heal from chaos, it heals from familiarity. When the skin knows what's coming every day, it stops defending itself. Inflammation quiets, pigment finally fades, texture begins to smooth out. That's when her face stopped feeling like a battlefield. What you see on her skin now is not luck. It's the compound effect of hundreds of quiet, intentional mornings and nights. And that's the part nobody wants to hear, because peace isn't viral. But here's what shocks most people. Alix's glow does not start with a product. It starts with a rule she follows every single morning that you unknowingly break before 9 a.m. And that one mistake alone is the reason your foundation separates. Your pores look larger and your skin never looks airbrushed on camera. In the next part, I'll reveal the exact morning skin foundation system that changed the way her skin holds light forever. And trust me, this is the step almost everyone gets wrong. Most people think flawless skin is built at night. They're wrong. What decides how your skin looks on camera, how your makeup sits, how light reflects off your face, is what you do in the first 5 minutes of your morning. And this is where Alix changed everything. Before I show you what she does, I need to say this clearly. This is the exact mistake most people make before 9 a.m. They treat dehydrated skin as if it's ready for attack. They wake up and go straight in with acids, actives, tightening products on skin that is still thirsty, fragile, and unprotected. Alix never does that anymore. Her glow does not begin with cleanser. It does not begin with serum. It does not even begin with moisturizer. It begins with temperature. No steaming hot water, no shocking ice, just a calm, cool to lukewarm rinse that brings the skin back to neutral. Because overheated skin holds redness. Overcooled skin holds tension, neutral skin holds light evenly. This moment looks small, but it resets everything. Then comes the first real rule of her system. Hydration touches her skin before treatment ever does. Not to make it shiny, not to make it slick, but to make it stable. Because hydrated skin doesn't panic. It doesn't spike oil, it doesn't grip pigment, and it doesn't break foundation apart by mid-morning. Most people rush this step, and rushing science always creates consequences. After hydration, she does something that shocks people. She does almost nothing for 60 seconds. No rubbing, no tapping frenzy, no aggressive pushing. The bathroom is silent for a full minute. No rushing, no heat, just skin settling back into itself. That pause allows water to move into the barrier instead of sitting on top of it. This is the difference between greasy shine and that quiet, glassy calm. This is what we see fail in clinics every day. People using perfect products with zero patience. Then comes protection. Not heavy, not suffocating, not trend-based. Protection that feels weightless, the kind that disappears into the skin instead of sitting on it. A finish that feels like bare skin, only calmer. This is where most routines collapse. People overbuild. They layer too fast. They trap heat. They trap oil. And heavy mornings create tired, collapsing afternoons. Alix keeps her morning base thin on purpose. Because overloaded skin never ages quietly. It announces its stress. And here's the detail nobody talks about. Her makeup never touches naked skin again. There is always a breathable buffer between pigment and pore. Always. That's why she doesn't get makeup-driven congestion the way many influencers do. Most people try to correct makeup with more makeup. Alix corrects it with skin behavior. And that single shift changed how her face holds product, heat, sweat, and light all at the same time. Her glow is not reflective. It's balanced. But here's what very few people realize. The reason her glow lasts all day has nothing to do with what she does in the morning. It's what she does at night that makes this entire system work at all. And the mistake most people make in their night routine quietly destroys everything they built during the day without them ever realizing it. In the next part, I'm going to show you the night repair ritual that protects her skin from inflammation, pigmentation, and burnout even on days when she sleeps late, wears heavy makeup, or travels. And once you see this, you'll understand why her skin never looks overworked. Most people think their skin heals while they sleep. That's only half the truth. Your skin doesn't heal because you're asleep. It heals because of what you removed before you went to bed. And this is the part of Alix's routine that quietly protects everything you saw in the morning. Because night is not about glow. Night is about reversal. Reversing heat, reversing congestion, reversing inflammation, reversing the damage the day tried to lock into the skin. Most people go into the night already defeated. They fall into bed with makeup still clinging to pores, pollution trapped in the folds of the skin, oil hardened into film. Then they wonder why their skin wakes up tired, textured, and dull. Alix never allows the day to stay on her face. Her night always begins with release. Not harsh stripping, not aggressive scrubbing, just a slow, deliberate breakdown of what the day layered on her skin. Sweat, SPF, makeup, city air, stress. Because skin cannot repair what it still feels trapped under. After release comes the most misunderstood step in nighttime skincare, recovery speed control. Most people think faster healing comes from stronger products. It doesn't. It comes from a controlled pace. At night, Alix avoids anything that forces the skin too quickly. No panic fix-it layers, no retaliation products, no nightly resets. Because speed inflames, and inflammation is what turns minor texture into months of pigment. Instead, her night routine is built for low-friction healing, soft hydration, barrier-feeding support, minimal stimulation. This is where most people sabotage themselves. They think they're being productive, but their skin experiences it as pressure. And pressure always creates rebound problems. Here's what most people never realize. The skin rebuilds in stages. If you rush one stage, you weaken the next. That's how people get trapped in cycles. Breakout. A. Overtreat. A. Damage. Pigment. I'll spit that cycle by stopping the chase. Her night routine doesn't try to erase the day. It prepares the skin for tomorrow's calm. And this is why her face doesn't wake up congested even after late nights, events, travel, or makeup heavy days. Because her skin never feels rushed to perform. It feels allowed to recover. This is what we see in clinics every single week. The people who heal fastest are not the ones using the strongest products. They're the ones creating the quietest nights. And that quiet compounds, night after night, week after week, until the skin forgets what inflammation even feels like. That's not luck, that's rhythm. But here's where things get even more interesting. Because even when the skin is calm, there's one thing that refuses to fade easily on its own: dark spots, uneven tone, lingering pigment. And Alix had those too. In the next part, I'm going to show you the dark spots don't fade because you want them to. They fade because the skin finally feels safe enough to let them go. And that's the part most people completely misunderstand. Most people attack pigment. They scrub it, burn it, overpeel it, spot treat it with desperation. And then they're shocked when the dark spot turns darker, wider, more stubborn. Alix made that mistake once, and it taught her the most important pigment lesson of all: inflamed skin always protects its color. This is where her strategy becomes the opposite of what you see online. Instead of chasing whitening, she chased calm. Because pigment doesn't fade in angry skin, it fades in quiet skin. Here's what most people never realize. Every dark spot is not just color, it's memory. Memory of inflammation, memory of acne, memory of heat, memory of pressure. If the skin still feels under attack, it will hold that memory tighter. So Alix stopped trying to erase the color first. She erased the reason the color was staying. Her pigment routine is built on 3 invisible rules: no rushing, no layering wars, no daily correction obsession. Instead, she created a slow fade environment, one that tells the skin, you're not in danger anymore. That's when pigment begins to release. Most people think fading dark spots is about stronger acids. It's not. It's about controlling how often the skin is asked to change. Alix never stacks correction the way influencers do. She never forces turnover every night. She gives her skin recovery gaps because pigment fades in waves, not in straight lines. And here's the part almost nobody talks about. Sunlight is not the only thing that darkens pigment. Heat does too. Most people protect their skin from the sun, but destroy their pigment with hot showers, steam rooms, overheated workouts, and aggressive facial massage. Alix became obsessive about this. Not paranoid, strategic. She learned that controlling microheat is just as important as sunscreen. That single shift slowed down the re-darkening that traps most people in pigment cycles. And then comes the quiet discipline part. She never checks dark spots every day. Because daily inspection creates daily intervention, and daily intervention creates relapse. Pigment fades best when you stop watching it. Weeks go by. Texture smooths. Tone evens. One morning, the shadow is just lighter, not dramatic, but permanent. That's the difference between fighting pigment and allowing pigment to exit. What most people call slow results is actually stable results. And stability is the only thing pigment responds to long term. But even with calm skin, even with fading pigment, there was still one problem that tried to come back quietly. Breakouts. Oil spikes, congestion. In the next part, I'm going to show you how Alix learned to control acne without drying her skin, without stripping her barrier, and without triggering rebound oil production. And once you see this, you'll understand why most people accidentally create their own acne cycles while trying to stop them. Most people try to kill their acne. That's why it keeps coming back. They dry it, burn it, strip it, punish it, and then they're shocked when their skin becomes oilier, angrier, and more inflamed than before. Alix used to fight acne the same way. Until she learned the truth that changes everything, acne is not the enemy. Inflammation is. Breakouts don't come from dirty skin, they come from stressed skin. When the barrier is weak, the skin panics. When the skin panics, it overproduces oil. When oil traps heat and bacteria, acne forms. Most people treat the last step. Alix learned to control the first one. She stopped asking, how do I dry this out? And started asking, why does my skin feel like it needs to overproduce oil right now? That shift changed everything. She stopped over-cleansing. She stopped squeaky clean finishes. She stopped using products that left her skin tight by noon. Because tight skin is not clean skin. Tight skin is injured skin. Instead of nuking oil, she taught her skin that it was safe. Safe to stay balanced. Safe to stay hydrated. Safe to stop overreacting. Most people don't realize this. When you strip oil aggressively, your skin will always replace it with more oil than before. That's not acne being stubborn. That's your skin trying to survive you. Alix learned to keep oil regulated, not erased. And here's the part that shocks most people. She doesn't chase oil-free skin. She chases quiet oil. Oil that doesn't spike. Oil that doesn't trap heat. Oil that doesn't turn makeup into a slip and slide by midday. That's why her breakouts stopped appearing in clusters. Because clusters are a sign of pressure under the skin. She removed the pressure. And she did something even harder. She stopped spot panicking. Most people see one breakout and immediately change everything. New cleanser, new acid, new drying treatment. That emotional reaction is what turns one pimple into a full cycle. Alix learned not to negotiate with panic. She treated breakouts with calm, boring consistency, not urgency, and that's why they stopped escalating. Here's what I see in clinics every week. The patients who clear acne long-term are not the ones using the harshest routines. They're the ones creating the calmest conditions for the skin to self-regulate. Alix didn't control acne by force. She removed the reason acne needed to exist. That's why her skin no longer has flare seasons, no rebound phases, no surprise eruptions, because when inflammation goes quiet, acne loses its voice. But here's the hardest truth of all. None of this works without the one final discipline that almost no one wants to practice. Not a product, not a routine, not a treatment, a behavior. In the final part, I'm going to reveal the last rule that keeps her skin from ever fully relapsing, even under stress, travel, late nights, and pressure. And once you hear this, you'll understand why most people lose their results right when they think they've finally fixed their skin. Everyone wants the routine. Everyone wants the products. Everyone wants the glow. But almost no one wants the one behavior that actually keeps it all from falling apart. And this is where most transformations quietly fail. Because Alix's skin didn't stay calm just because of what she applied. It stayed calm because of what she refused to do. She refused to restart her skin every month. Most people live in reset cycles. They build progress for a few weeks, then panic, then change everything, then strip everything, then inflame everything again. And they call that trying. Alix stopped doing that. She stopped resetting. She stopped experimenting emotionally. She stopped chasing dramatic changes and committed to long stretches of boring consistency. And this is the part nobody likes to hear. Skin only trusts what stays. It does not trust routines that disappear every time you feel impatient. Here's what discipline actually looked like for her. Not reacting to one bad day. Not rewriting the routine after one breakout. Not punishing the skin for something hormonal, stress-based, or temporary. She learned to separate events from identity. A breakout was no longer, my skin is broken. It became, my skin is communicating. That shift changed how she touched her face, how often she changed products, how aggressively she tried to fix things. And this is where most people lose their results forever. They win, then they celebrate with chaos. New products, new treatments, new experiments. Alix did the opposite. When her skin improved, she made the routine even quieter, because skin that finally feels safe is skin that finally heals deeply. Here's the real secret nobody posts. Your skin doesn't relapse because of one product. It relapses because of emotional instability in your routine. Stress shopping, trend hopping, fix-it panic. Those are the real triggers, and that's why her glow survived travel, late nights, makeup, heavy days, stressful weeks. Because nothing in her behavior told her skin to panic again, she became predictable. And predictability is the highest form of luxury in skincare. What you've seen across these 6 parts was never about perfection. It was about removing volatility. And that's what finally separates viral glow from sustainable skin. Now you know the truth behind the glow. Not magic, not filters, not genetics alone, not luxury bottles, just behavior repeated quietly without emotional resets. And the question now is simple. Will you do what actually works? Or will you keep chasing routines that restart your skin every 30 days? If this series changed the way you think about your skin, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because more real, unfiltered skin truths are coming. And tell me in the comments which part surprised you the most: morning, night, pigment, acne, or discipline. Your answer might shape the next story.